Part 2. Azure Moon. Verdant Rain Moon. Our chosen paths. The Kingdom Army has captured Fort Mercius. Managing troops from the now stable Western Kingdom and former Alliance territory, the Kingdom Army returns to Garreg Mach to regroup and reorganize its forces. With sufficient might to challenge the Empire, the Kingdom Army finalizes their plans to march on Enbarr, the Imperial capital.
Ah, there you are. His Highness was looking for you. He's gone ahead and started interrogating the prisoner, Viscount Kleiman's man. He said he'd like for you and I to be present as well. Will you come with me?
I cannot overlook your reckless remarks. Are you really so keen to lose your head?
I only did what I believed was right. I swear to the goddess that I'm not lying. Amidst the turmoil of the tragedy, Lady Patricia was supposed to be the only one who was unharmed. We had been given orders ahead of time to not approach her carriage.
Of course not. What would my stepmother have had to gain from such a...
Perhaps Lady Patricia would have done anything to return to the Empire, to her husband and daughter.
What exactly are you implying?
For the past few months, I've been spying on lords who defected to the Empire in order to investigate rumors about Lady Patricia. Cornelia's words were true. The two of them, I am afraid they conspired together after all.
Enough of this nonsense. You say she wished to return home? That isn't nearly enough reason to cause such a tragedy.
I do not intend to imply that the two of them were solely responsible for the whole affair. They were likely nobles who opposed the king, or potentially someone who wanted to throw the kingdom into chaos. The Empire and people like Solon and Kronya had their motives too.
So my stepmother joined with them to cause the tragedy. Is that what you believe?
Ultimately, this is just conjecture based on the evidence at hand. I have no idea what their true intentions were.
I see. We will hear what this man has to say. For now.
My lord had long felt that King Lambert's radical ways were dangerous. At the time, he was approached with an offer to take part in the incident at Duscur. My lord loves his homeland. To me, he embodied justice. We were only doing what we thought was right.
And so, in the name of justice, he caused massacre upon massacre out of love for his homeland. You murdered your own king, killed our soldiers, and involved innocent citizens. And yet you have the gall to speak of justice!
I am only standing before you now because I could no longer bear the weight of my sins. No, I accept your hatred and even the punishment of death, but I still believe it was a massacre in the name of justice.
Gilbert, lock this man in his cell.
Are you not going to kill him?
I will make that decision once I have had time to consider this man's definition of justice.
Yes, Your Highness.
No, I cannot say that I am. Tell me, Professor, how well do you remember your father, Geralt? Soon enough, you will come to understand how painful it is to forget the faces of those who have passed on. To be honest, I cannot really remember my stepmother's... that woman's smile, nor the sound of her voice. I always told myself that I would not allow my mind to forget, and yet, all I can recall with clarity is her gazing away, so forlorn. Did my stepmother wish to go home so badly that she would kill Father and me? Kill her false family? Home, to her own blood. Her true family. I suppose it doesn't make any difference now. I am asking you questions you could not possibly know the answer to. I am finished with thoughts like that. I am finally able to go on living without clinging to hate. If I truly treasure those who have died, then I must earnestly atone for my sins. Father, Glenn, all of the soldiers who have fallen, the people of Duscur who still suffer persecution. The only atonement I can offer them now is to take responsibility for this broken kingdom that has been entrusted to me. That is why I feel that I must meet with Edelgard and try to talk to her. Do you think it is a fool's errand? Honestly, I think so too. But I must swallow my feelings and grudges, our whole history really, and ask her about this future that she sees. What she aims for once her domination is complete. What kind of justice she clings to as she fights. And why she felt it necessary to start this war. I believe that asking her these things is the true responsibility I have been tasked with as king. We will march our troops to the Imperial capital. But before any battle begins, we will set up camp nearby and send a messenger. I will tell her that I need to speak with her in a safe place, without any weapons or troops. As to whether or not she will agree to my request, well, that rests solely on Edelgard. I would like to believe that as well. You know, Professor, when we fought in Ferdiad, Cornelia mocked me and called me pitiful. But even if it is true that my stepmother never loved me, I am not to be pitied. After all, I have allies and dear friends who care for me. And now, I also have you by my side.
Returning to the monastery brings back so many memories from 5 years ago. Hard to believe we only spent a year together here. So much happened that it felt a lot longer than that. But it was all so exciting and so much fun. Honestly, I think those memories are what's kept me fighting this long. What was that year like for you, Professor? I don't think I could ask for a better answer. Let's all do our best to survive this, so we can come back here when it's all over. I know that's what I'll be doing.
Professor, I keep thinking the war is near its end, then it isn't. When can we finally put this dreadful war behind us? That would be wonderful. Imagine the last moment of combat, then peace. It sounds like a fairy tale. I want to make this a world where there is no fighting, where children can grow up happy and safe.
Let me see. I wonder what the Emperor looks like. I bet she's really scary. Oh, you don't think so? I've never seen her, so I was just guessing. She tried to destroy the kingdom and the Alliance, and ordered the capture of the Archbishop, right? I don't know. Someone who could do such terrible things just has to be really scary looking.
Professor, once you set out on your next mission, you won't be able to have a proper meal for a while, right? You should eat up while you can. Build up your physical strength to prepare for the mission.
That damn Dimitri guy plans to chat with the Emperor. Can you believe that nonsense? Really though, we've been trying to kill each other, and he wants to shoot the breeze? Is he dumb or just insane? That effect! You two are birds of a feather. You ask me, they should throw some fists and be done with it. Guess it's up to the one true king of grappling to talk some sense into old Dimitri. When I'm done with him, he'll be ready to brawl.
It's like this. I used to work for Cornelia in Verdiad. I only followed her because I didn't want to die. But afterwards I felt so ashamed I wanted to die anyway. I still can't figure out why I did it. Anyway, I'm glad you did what you did. From now on, I'm going to devote myself to the kingdom and fight for what I believe in.
Yes.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Momentum's really picking up for this final battle, huh? Even I'm starting to feel tense. Me! Enbarr's history goes back 1,400 years. That even predates the founding of the Empire. It's one of the sacred sites of the Seros faith, so it's a pretty big deal. But hey, no need to worry about the Monastery while you're fighting the final battle. I've got it covered. I'll defend it to my last.
Right. While on some business, I went to see how the kingdom capital is getting on. There are still some things to work out before it can be restored. But generally, things seem to have calmed down. It's on its way to resuming its old energy. I think this will end up being a better kingdom than before. I really believe that.
Interesting. Seems like the war is gonna end soon. Once the dust settles, it'll be back to rolling in fat stacks of gold for me. Hey, how about a favor? Welcome! Come back soon!
Right.
Yes.
That's right. It's such a relief that we've made it this far without having to fight my father. Are you trying to scare me? What if he turns up while we're charging the capital? But still, I wonder what'll happen to him if we win.
Hi there! Wanting so desperately to speak with Edelgard, just as we're about to fight. Could it be that the prince is having doubts about killing her? I suppose they're the only ones who fully understand the extent of their relationship. He's certainly changed from the vengeful person he once was. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm actually relieved.
A king who's responsible for Fodlan's future can't exact personal vendettas and have a cold heart.
I hope this is the final battle. Don't you, Professor? When the war is over, everyone will be busy with their own lives. But let's all meet up again someday. Right here at Garreg Mach. You, His Highness, my father, our monastery friends, the knights, everyone. It was just a silly whim I had, but I really love it. Ooh, and I'll bake a bunch of desserts for it. Reunion sweets. All we have to do now is win. Let's get to it, Professor.
We'll be heading for the capital soon. So much rests on this moment. Will the war really be over if we take the capital? Yay! I'm sure it won't end right away, but that's still great news. I truly believe that a peaceful future is waiting at the end of all of this.
I'm so glad you were assigned to the Blue Lion House, Professor. We made it this far, thanks to your guidance and leadership. There's a bitter fight ahead, that much is certain. You have my lance. Yes, let's do this together.
Please. I've got a bit of Dusker blood in me. Vargas is our ancestral enemy. But if that man is going to be the king, I don't see any harm in lending him my blade. I believe that we can forge a proud new kingdom. As you can tell, I'm expecting great things. I won't forgive you if you lose.
Attacking the capital means crossing swords with the Emperor herself. I hope you won't be caught unprepared. I've heard that she'll stop at nothing in the pursuit of victory. Be careful of that Hubert, too, the minister of the Imperial household. They say he's a cunning strategist.
Did you know? A magnificent canal flows through downtown Enbarr. It's said to have been constructed under the guidance of Saint Seros before the Empire was even formed. Ever since, that canal has been a major lifeline for the capital's development. And now this is how the Empire repays it. Truly, no good deed goes unpunished.
Right.
Professor? I've been thinking about how we've got our own ideas about justice. And so does the Empire. And what's coming? It's not just a battle between us and them. It's our ideals that are fighting. Whoever wins will say they were right, and the other side was wrong. And I get it, that's how it goes. But nobody's willing to talk or compromise, so we'll fight to the death to prove the other guy's wrong. It won't be an easy battle, but let's make sure we come back alive. Right, Professor?
Maybe.
What the?
He intends to speak to the Emperor? She's his stepsister, I know, but this seems risky. No, I'm not. I'm sure he's thought it through. If the two can settle this diplomatically, that would be the best way out of this mess. No more bloodshed. Let's just hope he doesn't become so overwhelmed with emotion that he's unable to strike her down, should the need arise.
No. Hi.
Well... Fighting in the capital? Ugh. And we're fighting against Edelgard. Double ugh.
But with you leading us, Professor, I know we'll win.
Yeah! Woohoo! Fighting! I'm a little scared, to be honest. I'm just shouting to relieve the tension, but I'll be fine.
Looks like we're nearing the end of this struggle. I'm sure Lady Rhea is on tenterhooks waiting for me to swoop in and rescue her. I was just kidding. Pay me no mind. Lady Rhea's not waiting for me, I know, no matter how much I might wish she were. She's waiting for you.
Hey.
Sorry, but I'm not the fighting type. All I can do is lend you the stuff you need. And, you know, pray to the goddess for your safety. Win, live, and return, okay? Mostly so you can pay me back for the stuff you borrowed.
Maybe.
Please, let me consider.
I believe in you, but please ensure that His Highness survives as well. Fodlan's future would be in peril if we lost him. I would not be able to go on. Thank you. I believe in you.
It matters not how just our cause may be. In the end, war is nothing more than organized murder. I understand the desire to reach a conclusion, but we mustn't overlook the sins inherent in our deeds. Sorry. I have a tendency to preach. We have lost so much, and in return, we have taken much from our enemies. I pray we can put an end to this cycle of violence. Let me consider.
Our next battlefield will be the Imperial capital. There will be no turning back. If you have any unfinished business here, you had best settle it before we depart. I knew I could count on you. Good luck. Professor.
would you know what's rare and what isn't? I still believe in the goddess. Sort of. I couldn't recount a single word of scripture for you, but my mother always prayed. I picked up the habit from her. Believe it or not, I'm praying for you too. For you to come back safe.
Okay, I'm thinking 10 years ago, Dagda and Bridget attacked the Empire from the west. Their final target was the capital. But they were countered at a port town long before they reached their destination. We spent a lot of time going back and forth, but at least we made it this far.
It's very likely that Lady Rhea is confined in the Imperial Palace. If so, then our strategy will be to gain control of the streets and then assault the castle. A street battle followed by a castle invasion. It's just one battle after another. It'll be tough, but we have to win. For Lady Rhea.
One to remember.
Professor! Here we are, facing the final battle with the Empire. It's been a long, difficult struggle. We have to get Lady Rhea back. And we have to crush the Empire in the name of Captain Geralt. He's watching over us now, protecting us. I know he is.
Dear Goddess. For your safety, I'll do all I can to survive. But please, please don't die out there, Professor.
Could I trouble? Professor!
Rhea will be somewhere in the city. I wonder if she can sense us coming. The battle will soon be upon us. Let us both be at our best for what is to come.
Well... I was born in Enbarr. My mother and father met in a church there. Not too long after, I was brought into the world. I do not understand how war can happen in such a precious place. It is most regrettable.
At last, we've come to the final confrontation. Ruin to the Empire! Glory to Fargus! Of course, to be perfectly honest, I would have much preferred to march against the Empire at the head of the Alliance. But I suppose I have Claude to thank for denying me that satisfaction, don't I?
Whenever I think about how we'll be seeing Lady Rhea real soon, I get happy and really get cleaning. We'll get there for sure, right? We'll see her again? I just gotta believe Lady Rhea is waiting for us in the capital. We just have to find her.
Is it true what they say? That the Archbishop is a captive of the Empire? I've never heard of anything so brash in all the Empire's long history. It is vexing that Lady Edelgard's true motives elude me. If only I still had noble connections to draw on. The loss of my house has proven to be a thorn in my side again and again.
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. The war is careening headfirst toward its grand finale. Do me a favor and get through this mess alive, okay? After the dust settles, maybe I'll go on to guard other entrances in other parts of the world. I'm a dreamer, my friend. Always have been.
The war might be over soon. All this time we've been fighting, and the end comes in the blink of an eye. I have no idea what I'll do afterwards, though. I guess I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. I will. Though you already seem to know what you're going to do. Which is what, exactly? Actually, don't tell me your plans just yet. Let's revisit this topic when the war has drawn to a close.
Wow. We're getting along a lot better with the Kingdom soldiers recently. Everyone's in higher spirits. When they first got here, some of them were aggressive toward us, even abusive. All that's changed now. They've been courteous with us, generous even. It's nice to see.
Thank you.
I am grateful.
Oh, wow, thanks.
I thank you.
Thank you so much.
Professor!
Ah, meals always taste best when it is a company of 3 or more at the table.
Do you not enjoy eating when it's just the two of us? You wound me, Flame.